fall into my state through devotional recognition response to me. From recognition of me is liberation, the radical conversion to intrinsic egolessness in the divine reality way of Adidam. 1. Throughout the entire course of the radical reality way of Adidam Vishiradam, the intrinsically egoless root coincidence with me is enacted by one principal form of practice. That single principal form of practice is whole bodily recognition responsive devotional invocation of me. The only by me revealed and given radical reality way of Adidam Vishiradam is, principally and always, in all stages of practice maturity, whole bodily recognition responsive devotional invocation of me. 2. In the only by me revealed and given radical reality way of Adidam Vishiradam, devotional recognition of me is the first or principal conversion. Devotional recognition of me is the recognition of egolessness, my own intrinsic egolessness. When there is devotional recognition of me in whole bodily devotional response to me, my devotee thus and thereby coincides with my own intrinsically egoless self-nature, self-condition and self-state, which is the divine self-nature, self-condition and self-state of reality itself. Therefore, by means of whole bodily devotion to me, there is participation in the intrinsic egolessness of reality itself. 3. The entire process of the radical reality of Adidam Vishiradam from the beginning is an unfolding magnification of that seed, that conversion at the root. That seed conversion is the conversion to intrinsic egolessness. That seed conversion is devotional recognition of my state and falling into my state through devotional recognition response to me. I am here only to be devotionally recognized and to be responded to devotionally. Devotional recognition response to me must be the process in my divine avataric company. Devotional surrender to me is utter loss of face. There is no correctness in devotional surrender to me. Devotional surrender to me is completely self-forgotten. Devotional surrender to me is simply communion with me, without diversions and without self-defense. Either devotional surrender to me is so, or it is not. 5. The devotional relationship to me is, by its very nature, a me-recognizing relationship in which my devotee responsibly and constantly offers me the whole bodily gifts of right and true practice, always demonstrated by right and effective action and accomplishment. For any gift to me to be right and true, the gift must be given by one who is living the life of whole bodily devotional recognition to me, recognition response to me, constantly invoking me, constantly and actively conforming the body, mind, self to me, through the practice of right life obedience to me, constantly listening to my perfect knowledge teachings, and altogether constantly practicing searchless and in due course transcendental spiritual whole bodily recognition responsive devotional communion with me through every act of life and service. 6. The ego I is constantly looking to change the by me given great and intrinsically egoless transcendental spiritual process into something that is about the ego I itself. Instead, my devotee must recognition responsively, whole bodily egolessly, and altogether searchlessly turn to me, thereby participating in the intrinsically egoless process of transcendental spiritual communion with me and divine self-realization of me as I am. 7. The process in my divine avatar company is the practice of whole bodily recognition responsive devotion to me, as I divinely avatarically appear, utter whole bodily subordination to me as I am, and constant whole bodily participation in my perfect coincidence with all and all. The process in my divine avatar company is utterly self-forgetting. 8. Whole bodily recognition responsive devotional turning to me is right and whole bodily true communion with me, prior to all gross, subtle and causal ego patterns. 9. To whole bodily recognize me is to enter into my divine bright spherical self-domain. To whole bodily recognize me is to exist in my divine bright spherical self-domain. 10. As has been noticed by all the previous generations of humankind, it does not take long to live a lifetime. A human lifetime passes very quickly, even as if inadvertently. Either a human lifetime is the intrinsically ego-transcending process of profoundest whole bodily recognition responsive and intrinsically ego-transcending devotion communion with me, or not. Otherwise, a human lifetime is the ego-bound process of investing oneself in conditional pattern destiny, one or the other. 11. There need be no concern at all about whether conditional existence continues or vanishes in this instant. As long as conditions arise, there is, for my devotee, only the process of whole bodily recognition responsive devotional turning to me. 12. The right and whole bodily true practice of devotion to me is not about strategically dissociative turning away from conditional existence. Rather, in the right and whole bodily true practice of devotion to me, all of conditional existence is turned to me. In that process of whole bodily recognition, responsive devotional, and in due course transcendental spiritual communion with me, there is the brightness process in which everything is purified and transformed. Da, da, da.